Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Today is Thanksgiving Day in the United States, and we are very, very grateful to be here right now. And I wanted to say hi to everybody who is a member of my LinkedIn connection. Happy Thanksgiving to you and to all of your loved ones. And I also would like to say special thanks to everyone who served in the United States military, the U.S. Armed Forces. A lot of people right now are on active duty in the Army, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Marines, and the new Space Force, right? So happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and thank you so much for keeping our country safe, right? Defending our Constitution and volunteering to serve so that my two daughters do not have to. Very, very thankful for that. So, who is online right now? It looks like there are a couple of people. Could you please type in the comment and let us know who you are and where you are connecting from? For just a few moments, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the attitude of gratitude, right? I said that today my teaching, or no, I'm going to say a few words about having a thankful heart. And I believe that is so very, very, very important. Actually, just yesterday, right, Harvard actually published a guide, Giving Thanks at Work, a Harvard's Business Review guide. And in this guide written by Amy Gallo, she says how the research is very, very, very clear that gratitude is good for you, not just for you, but the person who receives it and for the entire team, right? When you say thanks, when you have a heart of thanksgiving and gratitude, you are really, I believe, sending a positive vibe to your environment, to your atmosphere, and it's really going to help you get ahead, I think. I believe a heart of thankfulness is really a secret for success, right? This podcast is all about being more successful and becoming a better leader. And I think one of the keys is to really have a heart of gratitude, being thankful, being grateful for where you are now. One of my mentors, Dr. Maxwell, used to say, your attitude will determine your altitude. Your attitude will determine your altitude. So how you behave, how you come across, will definitely determine how you affect other people around you and how they in turn respond to you, right? And my mom used to say you really get a lot more flies, right, with honey than you do with vinegar. So no matter how you feel or what you've been through, when you come with a positive attitude and you are very thankful and grateful for where you are in life, even though you might not be where you want to be, right? You might have greater ambition, but if you just stop and pause and think about it, you are further ahead today than you were 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Just think about that. Like I remember when I first came to the US, I was back in 1996. The first job I had, I was making a minimum wage. I think it was 4.75 at the time. And a couple of years later, I was working full time, making minimum wage again. I think it was about $17,000 a year. That is all the money I could make back then based on my skills and really what I brought to the market. Now, several years later, I am at a much, much, much better state now. But I think even when you are making minimum wage, even when things are tough and hard, and all of us have gone through pretty tough time in the past year and a half or so with this pandemic. But I believe you really, really need to show an attitude of gratefulness no matter where you are, and be thankful for where you are now, because you may not be where you want to be, but you shouldn't be where you used to be. And there is a lot to say about that. So being grateful is needs to become a way of life for people who are successful and who want to lead, right? And you are leading a team, you have to be grateful for your team. You have to show appreciation. And in my experience, many of your team members probably don't even want more money than you think. Sometimes money is not really the motivation for a highly effective team. Sometimes just showing appreciation, you as the leader telling them, yes, I see what you're doing and I really appreciate you doing your job and going above and beyond, and showing recognition in a public setting. I think that is really, really, really important, and that definitely uh, inspire a lot of people. For example, in the U.S. Navy Reserve, I've been in the Navy for 17 years now. Started as a seaman recruit, which is E1, the very lowest pay grade in the Navy, and today I am a commander O5, which is a senior officer rank. And throughout my entire career in the Navy, I've realized that people who serve in the Navy, they really don't do it for money, because the government doesn't pay that well. Industry pays so much more. But you will see them, though, go above and beyond, and sometimes even work, I believe, like superhuman uh, uh, action and feats, right, to protect this country going to war and prepare for war. And many of them, unfortunately, sometimes they even have to give their life to protect this country. So money doesn't motivate them, and at least it's not as great a motivation as true leadership is. When someone who leads them really can show their appreciation and says, I've got your back and I'm going to give you everything you need to be successful. I see what you are doing and I appreciate you very, very much. And I've really had a lot of friends and really brothers and sisters in arm, right? There is a bond that you form, I think, in the military. You just cannot find anywhere else. But again, I think that uh, having a grateful heart, a heart of thankfulness and gratitude, I think, does a lot for your team, for the morale, and encouraging people again to go above and beyond the call of duty. I've really seen that a lot over and over again in the military specifically, and I know it can be applied in the industry and in any other function too. So that is really what I wanted to talk about today. Take a pause, think about where you used to be and where you are now, and really, really, really be grateful. I really like that. I believe America and Canada are the only two countries in the world that celebrate Thanksgiving. I've never heard of Thanksgiving until I came to America, and it's really a holiday that I've got to appreciate very, very, very much. And I know the history of America is not perfect. No, we've made a lot of mistakes in this country from the very beginning, but having a day in the calendar where people just take a pause and say, yes, I am thankful for something in my life. I am thankful for what is around me. Something about being grateful to, if I'm a share, it was last year when my mother passed away, right? So I'm going to share with you a very personal story. She was in France. She passed away, and I had to go there to bury my mom. And really, growing up, my mother was my hero, right? She was my best friend, my confidant, and I really couldn't imagine life without my mom. But it happened. She passed away. We buried her, but up until the point where we actually buried my mom, it really didn't register in my brain. It's when I came back to the US that I really felt into a deep depression. It was like, man, I'm never gonna see this woman ever again. I really, really got sad, and it was very difficult for me to do anything, to work, to think. It was terrible, as you can imagine. However, around that time, somebody challenged me, right? There was a grateful challenge, and I would like to challenge all of you now. And it was James Corbett who started this challenge, and uh, Commander Teresa Carpenter was the one who challenged me personally for 21 days to give thanks, to find something to be thankful for. And I'm telling you, that really, really, really changed my life. It really took me out of that dark place I was in. And I started walking and started working again and speaking to my friends and my close family members about how I felt, and I really, really got better. By the day 21 came around, I wasn't depressed anymore, right? So I would say, for example, for day one, I say, today I'm grateful for my beloved and beautiful wife, Dimitra Zinga. Being thankful for your family, the people who are close to you. I can tell you, you are really, really, really going to miss them if they are no longer around, right? Just like my mother, sometimes I felt like maybe I took her for granted. Yes, she was living in Africa and later in France, and that's a very, very long distance from the US. But I would call her maybe what, once a week, once every 2 weeks. And I wish I had called her every single day just to let her know, Mommy, I love you. And I really, really, really missed that. So really take this opportunity to be grateful for people who have affected your life. Maybe your parents, maybe a family member, a friend, a brother, a sister, a cousin, especially those people with whom you may not even be related to, but they stepped up and helped you out knowing that you could not pay them back. That is really, really, really profound. That's happened to me so many times in my life and career. And all I could say is thank you. So for example, for day number two, I said I was grateful for breathing clean air in Silicon Valley. If you remember, back then there was a lot of fire and smoke everywhere. The air wasn't really good or breathable. But on that day, the air was clean, and I was very, very grateful for it. And on day number three, I was very, very grateful to be alive. Just think about that. Somebody went to sleep last night, but they did not wake up. But you are still here. As long as you are alive, as long as there is breath in your lung, there is hope for you. I think that's what being grateful is all about. I am grateful that I am still here. I am grateful that my tomorrow can be better than my today and my yesterday. I am grateful I am still here. If you are alive today, there is hope for you. There's going to be an opportunity for you to improve, to go from where you are to where you would like to eventually be. Just being thankful for that. Day number four, I was grateful that my oldest child turned 18, and that's pretty cool, right? Being a child and now becoming a young adult, and now she's gone to college. Thank God she came back for this Thanksgiving holiday. We missed her so much. I really didn't know how much I would miss my daughter being a father. We've been together for 18 years straight. She's 19 now, and she's pretty much becoming very much independent. And that is something to be thankful for, right? Uh, and then number five, I was grateful that I was healthy. Now, something about health, it's something again that you really don't miss until you don't have it anymore. I remember a time in my life where I was having some severe backache, and it was impossible for me to do work or even get out of bed, right? That's where I feel like sometimes we just take our health for granted. But you are healthy, you can move, you have two hands, you have 2 feet, you can breathe, you can do work, you can be passionate about something, you can make a difference in somebody's day. I think you should be thankful for that. And having said that, it's also important, right? Things like fitness and eating right and all of those things are very, very important, but they are not urgent, right? You don't have to do it right now. You can always do it tomorrow, next month, or next year. But it's so important to do those things to maintain your health. And in Silicon Valley, prior to the pandemic, I know we used to work like, 40, 60, sometimes even 70 hours a week. It was just a work craze culture here. And I think the pandemic has really helped us take a step back and really realize what is really, really important, which are relationship, family, friends, and taking time off and taking care of your mental health as well. And sometimes you have to take time off of work. And when you do, don't do any work, turn off your phone, turn off your computer, spend time with your family. You have to completely unplug. And then once you fully recharge, go back to work and do great work again. That's what I would definitely recommend after everything we've gone through. Just maintaining your health and making sure you exercise regularly and you eat the right food. Again, it's not urgent, but it is important, and you need to make it a priority. Be thankful that you have good health. And day number six, I was very, very grateful for my employment. And back then, again, because of the pandemic, many businesses went under, many people were laid off, and I was just thankful I have a job, right? And for some of you, it may not be the job you want, but it's the job you've got, and it allows you to take care of your family. I think you should be thankful for that. Then number seven, I was grateful for all of my mentors. And I believe it's tomorrow I'm going to be talking about mentorship, I believe. I think mentorship is master key for success. Mentorship is. I am so thankful for all of the mentors I have had. And sometimes you may not even have a personal relationship with your mentor. That's not important. What's important is learning from them, right? Because in life, I believe there are two ways of learning, two ways to learn anything. Either trial and error and making mistakes and learning from your mistakes, which takes a long time, or the shortcut is finding a mentor, finding somebody who's been where you are trying to be and somebody who can show you the way and just make it easier for you. Kind of, you can gain knowledge from them. They're going to share from their experience so that you can profit from it. And most people who are extremely successful, I'm telling you, they want to share, they want to give back, but you have to ask, right? You have to read their books. You have to seek them out. If they have a YouTube channel or a podcast like I have here, listen to their podcast and really learn from their experience. That's going to change your life. I am so thankful for so many mentors I've had throughout my experience in the Navy, professionally and personally, and all of the coaches I've had. They've really made my life so more precious and rewarding, right? Mentorship is a huge key for success. Day number 8, I was grateful for experiencing a majestic sunrise with my wife. And during the pandemic, just observing, taking a moment, right, to observe nature, to look at the sunrise and the sunset and the birds, and just being in the present moment and not just thinking about work all the time. That was really, really rewarding. And I think it does a lot for your emotional health. I believe it's episode 13, right? I talked to Dr. Oscar Segundo. He talked about emotional health. And actually, episode 9 as well, I talked to Banks, who used to be a chaplain, who's now working on his PhD in psychology, talked about emotional health as well. That's one of those things that is extremely important, but again, not urgent. And sometimes you can really get yourself so busy in life that you don't take time to unplug and recharge. It's something I want to encourage you to be thankful for and take time off, unplug from social media and spend time with your family and just take care of your emotional wealth. Uh, Day number 9, I said I was grateful for experiencing a sunrise with my wife, just being around nature. Day number 10, uh, halfway through the challenge, I was very thankful for Commander Teresa Carpenter. She has a podcast, by the way. She calls it SOS, and I encourage everybody to please subscribe to her podcast. It's really excellent. I'm going to be adding the links in the comments below. But she really challenged me 10 days earlier and really made my life so much better. Maybe she didn't really realize the impact she had on my life. And I think it's important for days like this to reach out to the people you love, maybe people you haven't talked to for a while, and just reach out to them and say, hey, how are you doing? I'm really, really thankful for our relationship and for your friendship. Day number 11, I was grateful for the US Navy. So many people in the Navy do great, great work, including in the reserve. And many times, no, they are not celebrated or uploaded openly, but it's just a great feeling to know that there are people out there who have volunteered their time and are willing to give their life if they need to in order to protect all of us, right? And day number 12, I was grateful for the basic necessity in life. Having everything you need. You may not, again, have everything you want, but you got what you need, especially in this country, in the US, right? You've got food, you've got transportation, you've got a place to stay. Even if you are renting, you do have a place where you can be and you are able to pay your bills. That is a lot, right? Compared to most of the other countries in the world, I believe the US is like in the top 2%. Like even the poorest person here in America is wealthier than many people in all of the developing countries and some of those countries where I came from. And just being thankful for that. There is just so much to be thankful for. And if you would please, would you type in the comment what you are thankful for? And I think it's going to make your day brighter and also affect the people around you. And on day number 13, I was grateful that my first child was enrolled in music performance at Azusa Pacific University. And that was quite a challenge. It was quite an experience trying to find the right school because college is so expensive these days. When I went to school back in the 90s, right, as an international student at the University of Alabama, I was paying like $16,000 a year. And today in California, most of the school, you're spending $30,000, $60,000 a year. It's just incredible. But my daughter was able to go to school and pretty much get a full scholarship, which is just amazing, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. Day number 14, I was grateful for a simple haircut. During the pandemic, as you remember, everything was closed and nobody could go to the salon or the barbershop and take care of their hair, right? I remember I started cutting my hair by myself, just like I used to do when I was a poor student at the University of Alabama. And when it was now safe for people to start going back to the barbershop or massage parlor and so forth, I was so thankful for the opportunity to do that again. No, things that I took for granted. Going to a barbershop, getting your haircut once a month or once every 2 or 3 weeks, and then for almost 6 months we couldn't do that. Uh, Day number 15, I'm grateful that two of my petty officer first classes were promoted to chief petty officer. That's a very, very big deal in the Navy. Chief petty officer is E7. So by that point, somebody becomes a senior enlisted. And in my opinion, the US Navy chiefs, they really, really do run the Navy. Oh, yeah. And it's just wonderful to see. It is really a milestone in somebody's career. I remember when I was an E1 at boot camp, I made up my mind back then. I was either going to become a chief, E7 and above, or so senior enlisted or a senior officer or commander or above. I am very grateful that I became an officer and that I achieved my life dream of becoming a senior officer this past April when I was promoted to commander. But there is really a lot of things, if we stop and think about it, we can be very, very grateful for. And day 16, I was grateful that I was taking the day off. And it's always nice to, again, unplug, spend time with family, do something that energizes you. Like I love to read. As you can see, I have a pretty decent library, and I like to play music as well and listen to music. Doing things that you love, that you are passionate about. Take time to do that and be grateful for the moment. Um, and day 17, I was grateful that a couple of my former colleagues who have been laid off recently have finally received and accepted new job offers. And that is really wonderful when someone who couldn't work and couldn't provide for their family now has a job and in many ways, paying more and having more benefit and more responsibility. That is definitely something to be very thankful for. Day 18, I was grateful for friendship. And friendship is just so precious. Your true friends, right? I don't have a whole lot of friends. I have few that I keep very, very, very close. Uh, I think in the Bible it talks about a friend who stands closer than a brother. Those are very, very rare to find. And if you have a couple of people like that, in my opinion, you probably won't have more than a handful. But take care of them, cherish them, call them, let them know that you love them and that you appreciate them and that you are very, very thankful that they are in your life. People who don't expect anything back from you, people who want to bless you just because. It's very, very uncommon. You don't see too many people like that. And I pray, and I hope that you find friends that are like that in your life that are going to really be there for you no matter what. And whether you have money or not, whether you have a lot of wealth or not, whether everything is going okay or when everything is going wrong, they are still there and they care about you and they support you. It is just priceless, right? There is nothing like it. True friendship. Day 19, I was grateful for the legacy I received from my mother. My mother was, like I said earlier, my greatest hero, and she really was the first feminist I have ever known. Ever since I was a little kid, she always made me believe that, a woman could do anything. They could do anything a man can do, sometimes even better. And I still don't understand why in America today, in the 21st century, 2021, on average, right, women make a lot less than men do. That doesn't make sense for the same job and for the same experience. I'm a father of two daughters, and I think my daughters should be treated fairly, right? They should get paid everything they deserve. Just because they are female, that shouldn't change anything. But anyway, that legacy that my mother left me, very, very thankful for that. When somebody you really love, you spend a lot of time with, you admire, passes away, you still keep their memory and everything they have taught you. And my mother was really one of my primary mentor. And when you have a mentor, you are thinking not just about what they have accomplished themselves, that's theirs. But what you want is their knowledge, right? Not what they have, but what they know, how they got it, so that you can use the same knowledge so you can get your own. And that's actually a much better inheritance than anything valuable that they may leave you. I think I was about 15, 16 years old when I made up my mind that I wouldn't expect any inheritance from my parents, right? If they leave me anything, whenever they pass away, great. But if they don't, I don't need it. I'm gonna make my own money. I'm gonna uh, create my own inheritance. I do not depend on that. But I think the greatest inheritance that my mother left me was just her knowledge, her wisdom, and sharing from her experience. And if your parents are still alive today, definitely give them a call and learn from their experience too. All right, on day 20, I was grateful for my country, the United States of America. Really, America, the only country in the world with a dream, right? The American dream. It's just amazing. What a fantastic country we live in. It's not a perfect country, but I definitely believe it's the best country in the world. I've lived in the African continent, in Europe, and visited a lot of country in Asia and in the South Pacific Sea, and there is just nothing like home. There is nothing like America. And I am so glad that together we are working to make America even fairer, better, right? Like Abraham Lincoln says, a country of the people, uh, for the people, and by the people. America is definitely a very, very special uh, country in the world. And on day 21, I was grateful for completing the project with it, grateful challenges. So for 21 days, I was thankful for something. And I really would like to encourage everyone to please take up that challenge and go ahead and decide that you are going to be thankful this Thanksgiving Day and 20 days from now. So that's going to take you from now to about December 16 or so, mid-December. Every day, force yourself to be thankful for something. I guarantee your life is going to be changed. Your perception will change. You're going to be more positive, and you're going to be attracting more people to you. People are going to be kinder to you. You're going to be more patient. And as a matter of fact, I would like for you guys to also purchase and read this book. I just told you about this article in the Harvard Business Review about giving thanks. There is a book, the Harvard Business Review Guide to Delivering Effective Feedback. That's a very, very great book to have. Only $10 on Kindle. Great tool to have, because I really, really think providing feedback, including giving thanks and showing appreciation to the people who are around you and who work for you, is really the right thing to do. It does a lot for you, for those who receive your gratitude, and for the entire team and the organization. So if anybody has any other question, please type it in the comments. I don't see anything right now. Um, I would like to ask everyone listening to me now to please follow me on LinkedIn, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to build up the subscription there. I have more than 36,000 people or so on LinkedIn following me, and only I think about 10 or 12 people on YouTube right now. I'd like to have more people subscribe to the channel, please, if you like what you are hearing. And we're going to try to do this podcast at least once a month, or whenever we can. Every other day or so. I think this is important. It's a way for me to give back to the LinkedIn community, and try to help develop leaders out there, and help people get an insight or some kind of tips about how to achieve a greater level of success. I also would like for you to please subscribe to my podcast on Apple, the Apple podcast. Please subscribe to it, follow it, rate the podcast, and if you can, leave a review as well. And again, thank you so much for taking the time today. It was a pleasure and an honor to talk to you live on the LinkedIn platform. And I will be back again tomorrow. Let's see, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. my time, Friday, November 26th. I will be at 7 a.m. and I'm going to be talking about investing in oneself. How do you invest in yourself, and why that is important? When nobody else would invest in you, why you should take the time, the energy, the resources to invest in your own self. Okay, until then, I love you and talk to you live on LinkedIn tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.